Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, it's time for relationship talk. Every relationship, of course, has its ups and downs, high and lows. But one thing is the right connection between both parties. We are joined by relationship experts and coach Sandra Odufaderin. And of course, she'll be talking to us about the benefits of spousal friendship. Hi, Miss Sandra. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning. It's good to be back on Wake Up Nigeria.
It's good to have you, Mama. We've missed you so much. We have really missed you. So yes, we are talking about spousal friendship, but
Yeah.
there is a school of thought that you should not be friends with your spouse.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So do you agree or not?
Yeah. I completely disagree.
Okay.
First, we need to know the meaning of marriage. Now, marriage is a legal institution and friendship, relationship between two persons, preferably a man and a woman.
Okay.
Personal relationship, underline that word. Now, I always say it, and I don't care, it's my own opinion. If you are not ready to be a friend to your spouse, you don't have any business being married because over time, sex is not the only thing you can offer in marriage. Now, over time, the relationship and the marriage gets boring. And now, the fact that you guys were friends while you were courting is not it's not automatic for you to be friends after marriage because marriage, a lot of things come with marriage. I always say to people, marriage is something, it's a sacred thing that you don't know anything until you come into it and you see a lot of things are involved, in-laws, factors, and men are not ready to be married until 10 years after. Studies have shown that. But the best thing that can happen to any couple, preferably the woman, is to have your spouse, your husband,
As a
your
friend.
best friend. Yes,
Great.
your bestie.
So why is it the best thing that can happen to the woman?
Why not the man?
What did you say?
Why is it the best thing that can happen to the woman to have your husband as your best friend?
Okay, because now we women, we are like, there's a saying that if you give a woman one thing, she will times two. For instance, if you give her a sperm, she gives you a baby. Okay. Now, if you give a woman your true love, your true heart and everything, she tends to bond. She tends to forget outside friends, which sometimes are influenced against her marriage, not all the time, but sometimes could be influenced against her marriage. Now, it will also help her to build her confidence. You know what it means for you to have a best friend in your husband? That means when it comes to your self-development, when it comes to whatever that is bothering to call. And as we all know, when you have a friend, your friend understands you, your friend knows your flaws, your friend understands the time you are moody, he knows when to talk to you. Now, you now have a friend in your husband. What does that mean? That means that your husband will be able to help you when you have problem with your work, have problem with finances. All you just need to do is to call him and say, oh, dear, there's a problem, and you are talking. But if your husband is not your friend, you now have to be calling a third party to advise you. And if your husband is your friend, and some people are trying to, maybe family members are trying to discourage him or tell him some negative things about you, all he will say is you don't understand. And then the woman she will glow, her health will be strong, the health benefits of it. She will be very healthy. When you see a woman that is glowing, check her marital status. Is either she's happy in her marriage or somebody else is keeping her happy.
Is making her happy.
And then for the man, in your old age, that's when you really get to understand. If you don't build up a good relationship with your spouse, you are going to be very lonely in your old age. That is the truth.
Okay.
Because over time, the woman will move on.
Okay. So let's...
Hello? Are
yes,
you there?
we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Over time, I can hear you very well.
Okay.
Over time, the woman will move on, and then she just move on. Then after a while, you see her saying she wants to go and stay with the children, and then that's why most men die quickly. They die before their time.
Before
you
I
have
allow
good
you to
relationships
take-
with your
So I'm going to say this year as a single person. Now, a lot of women have identity crisis in marriage because you're trying
A
to...
lot of women have what?
Identity crisis in marriage because of being your husband's friend. And now that is not coming from you being
who you are.
Being who you are. Now, from what you've explained, I see you highlighting a woman's happiness and
To
peace
a man.
to a man. How does the woman now find herself as an individual well enough to stand before being friends with her husband? Because I think it's necessary that women should learn to be
Love
their own
themselves.
person before they think it's right to find completeness in the husband. How do you advise women on that?
Okay, now, to me, as a woman,
Yes.
or as a man, you can never find completeness. I can talk from experience. I've been married for 13 years, and I can talk for experience. You can never find completeness if your husband is or your spouse is not your friend. One, there will be competition. I don't want her to be better than me. Now, when you want to now progress in life, you see the man standing in your gap because standing on you, or the woman standing and saying he cannot go anywhere because when he prosper, I don't know anything about my husband. We've seen women who say that. Now, if your husband is your friend, the marriage will never be boring. You find out that you discuss your business, your career, your next level. Do you know a true friend? And you know one good thing about men. I always say to people, I don't have female friends that were besties. Most of my people that have helped me in life are men. Now you now have a man who is now happen to be your husband that love you genuinely, one, and he's now your friend, and he's now in the journey of your life. You have gotten the best thing of you have ever think of because it will help you when it comes to building your career, when it comes to enhancing your purpose in life. He will give you that push and encourage you. And even when he sees you blowing, he will just say, and people are telling him, someone can snatch your wife.
Okay.
He will say you don't know her.
Miss Sandra, I am going to cut you there. Quickly, I need to say something. So in this case, how do you differentiate between marriage and friendship? Because there's that line, yes. And I hear you when you say that your husband being your friend, he can support you, your career, business, work. But there are things that you cannot discuss with your husband because there is so much information that your spouse should have about you than a friend should have about you. So how do you draw that line? How do you balance all of this?
Information, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see any information that your husband cannot know about you, except you on your own have found out that he cannot manage the information.
So in
now,
that case,
instance,
what do you do? In that case, what do you suggest?
There are some men that cannot manage information on, probably a guy telling their wife, you are beautiful, I love you, or something. Now, in that case, I will suggest you keep such information to yourself until the man is man enough to handle it. But the truth is that being your spouse's friend doesn't differentiate anything. The Bible says, the two shall be naked and they are not ashamed. If you have a man that has a large heart, it is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Like I would say, I will speak from my own experience. Early days of my marriage, I had issues. My husband and I were best of friends before marriage. Now, when we were so close that we even had joint accounts, we did stuff together. He couldn't cope without me. And then after marriage, we had some issues from his family. You know, I had my in-laws. I always say it. They had issues with me of marriage, but now we resolved it. And it was very difficult for me to cope for the first 5 years. I found myself always crying because I missed his friendship. There was nothing I couldn't discuss with him while we were cutting. And at a point, I remember I had to relocate a bit out of the country for a while, and just to get over him. And while I was abroad, I discovered myself, and then I came back and started what I've been doing.
Exactly what we're saying. It is very important for you to find yourself as an individual. But I want to
But let me tell you what happened. While he was out of my life, when it comes to friendship, I met some friends who helped me, who started helping me. And then he found out later, after a while, he found out that I was doing well, and he decided to find out what was the secret. And he found out that there was a friend of mine. Hello, are you there?
Yes, we're following you.
Okay, he found out that there was a friend who was really helping me. And then he got so jealous, and he came back and asked me, oh, what has happened? He wants me back. It was very difficult, and we are still in the process for him to have me back as his friend.
Okay, so Sandra, quickly, I'm going to ask you this last question. In the course of your being friends with your husband, how do you still find yourself being submissive because he's your friend?
Now I am more submissive. Do you know why? Because he now treats me like a queen. He's not ready to listen to me. I am a woman that I sometimes when I'm planning, I have fears. And then if I now have a man by my side that I can call and say, this is what I'm planning, but I'm afraid. And he can help me analyze it. It's better than calling outsider.
Okay,
because you know
Sandra.
when you are married and you have an outsider that you are calling.
Sandra.
One day, an outsider can make fun of
The
you.
truth is, Sandra, we can go on and on and on about spousal friendship. Sandra, can you hear me?
Outside.
Sandra, can you hear me?
Me to him now because I see him.
Okay, I think there's a network connection breach somewhere.
Sandra, can you hear me?
He doesn't just want me to.
Okay, so I'm thinking that we're having a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, so we have to go now.
Here.
Thank you so much, Miss Sandra, for this conversation.
We really
it was very enlightening.
There's so much more to talk on spousal friendship, but it was really interesting and insightful listening to Sandra.
It was.
Sadly, we had to let her go, but
there's still so much more on the show, right?
Yes.
Next 15 minutes.
Next 15 minutes is going to break, and we will be right back.
Stay
Don't go
with
anywhere.
us.